know the guests on each episode. Third, we'll jump into case collections, where each of us will share an interesting case we've recently encountered. And lastly, client questions, where we'll try our hardest to answer a question or concern from one of our clients. So, housekeeping. Before I introduce our guests, let's go over some quick housekeeping. If you haven't sent us a question for the podcast, please do so. February is quickly approaching, which means the arrival of Dental Health Month. We'd love to answer a few questions regarding anything dental related in February, so send your questions to harrison@all-starvet.com. Speaking of, shout out to Chris Grissom for great questions about spaying your dog last episode. Woo. Last week, we released a video of Bailey, Sophie, Lauren, Becca, Courtney, and Elise all playing sardines. Go give it a watch if you haven't already done so. It's a good one. Now let's get to our guests. On today's episode, we have my interim co-host, Abby.
Yeah.
Room assistant extraordinaire. And then we have another room assistant.
It's room assistant takeover, by the way.
It is, actually, now that you mention it.
Mm-hmm. We're the best.
You guys are the best. So we have got room assistant aficionado, Denise Luttrell.
Woo!
And room assistant expert, Amanda McDaniel. Welcome, everyone, to the podcast.
Thank you.
I appreciate you guys joining us after a long, hard day at work.
Mm-hmm.
And the excitement that you brought with you into this room is what's going to carry us through this podcast for the next several minutes.
Yes.
So I appreciate that. Everybody's doing okay today?
Yeah. Sleepy.
Okay, good.
Long day.
So let's get to our icebreakers so that we can break some ice.
Ah, that's funny.
Okay. Abby, you want to read the first question?
Yeah. Okay. If you had to describe how you're feeling right now as a weather pattern, what's your forecast? What do you guys think?
Denise?
Denise.
Whoa.
D-nice.
Now?
For
Earlier I was
all
a
the
tornado. Now I am fog.
Foggy.
I'm just foggy.
Foggy. I wouldn't have even picked Foggy. That's a great one.
No, not foggy, just fog.
Fog.
I am fog.
Oh.
Okay.
I'm tired.
Tired? Totally understandable.
Yes.
Amanda?
I would say cloudy.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I'm
Since you-
hungry. Our clouds I'm hungry. starving. Yes.
Well, you could then just be like some other type of weather storm if you were
I'm not hangry
hangry
yet.
Oh, okay.
Even though I told Harrison I was hangry earlier. But
Yeah.
Do we need to throw food at you?
maybe.
Are you okay? Maybe?
Yeah, if you got some Cheetos. That'd be fun.
I don't have any Cheetos.
I don't either.
What do you have in your locker? You always have something in your locker.
I have soup. Good soup.
Soup? What the hell?
With crackers on top.
You usually have like peanuts,
Oh, because peanuts are so much better than soup.
cashews.
I got cashews and popcorn in my locker.
Look, she's
Oh,
got it.
you have snacks.
yeah, I I do have have candy. snacks.
What's your weather pattern?
Yeah.
I keep saying
Me?
weather.
Dark and stormy. No, I'm just kidding. I am like sunshine.
Oh my god.
No,
gonna go with
you don't think so? I think I am.
Overcast.
Do you have a song for sunshine?
Mm-hmm.
Hit me.
I've
No-
got
oh.
sunshine on a
Cloudy
cloudy
day. There you
we
go.
go.
That's that one. Okay. that
Ain't no
works.
sunshine.
Ain't no sunshine when it's
She's gone. gone.
There we go.
One more.
That's it.
Oh.
That's all she's got.
That's it.
What about you?
I just said ain't. Oh, weathered pattern.
Yes,
I'm like,
ma'am.
well, I just did a song. Overcast. I'm hungry.
Seems like a recurring theme.
Yeah. But
I
you're
think-
sunshine, so that's
You know,
great.
every podcast we talk about food.
Mm-hmm. Well,
It's almost
the end
like
of the
this should be
day.
like the food
Well, and
podcast.
food is life.
What is food is life? Is that what you said? Oh gosh. So I am thinking that on future podcasts it should be food. And then we talk about veterinary medicine.
Yeah. Food first, though.
Food first.
Yeah, we
Vet
can't
med
talk about
second.
food and not have food, though.
It's
The more we talk
amazing
about food.
the number of guests that we have on the podcast. Hands down. I think it's been 100, like 8 episodes. How many episodes are we on here? So 9, 8, 10, 20, 6. Okay. The best. Every single episode we have talked about food, have we not? Yep.
My
Food is
stomach
life.
is growling.
Food
I
is
know.
life.
It's almost burning. Feed me.
Don't worry, folks. They do get lunch when they work here. Okay.
It's 12-hour work days.
If you're coming out onto a stage, what would your entrance song be?
Wait, can we do this for
Oh.
each other?
Okay,
and
yeah.
guess our
Like,
one for
let's
each other.
guess, like, what your entrance song would be.
Well, okay, what's your intro song for yourself?
Crazy Train by Ozzy Osbourne.
God.
Oh, I like it. Okay. Okay.
I have one for you.
You do? Let me
I
hear
was
it.
gonna do she's beauty and she's grace. She's Miss United States.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever heard that one.
Miss Congeniality. Every time you walk through the halls, I feel like that's what I sing.
Mm-hmm. She does.
Anyway,
I'm thinking like Eye of the Tiger.
Thank you, Amanda.
Welcome.
That's right. We just had the Toto song. I mean,
I'm sorry.
we were talking about how, like, yeah, Eye of the Tiger, totally. I could
Yes.
totally be.
I can see you
Singing
like
that.
pouncing. See, I am a tiger. It's something.
It actually, is that the song we wanted to
I
do the
don't.
video to? Yeah, there's like, God, yes. Here we go again. I don't know if you guys have seen the video of the guys walking down the street. We talked about this in one of the podcasts, I feel like.
Like a lip
And-
sync?
Well, yes, but they pick up a person, and as they're walking down the sidewalk singing the song,
Yeah.
they pick up a person in the band. So the head guy's walking down, and then he picks up as he's singing the song, somebody comes out from the shadows and joins him and starts and walks with him. And then another person walks with him, and then
Yeah.
another. I'm like, I totally want to do this video, where we just like pick people up as we go.
There we go.
Yeah. So anyway, that's my my next dream, lip sync. I don't know why it would pertain to veterinary medicine. I just think it's hilarious.
Well, tigers are an animal.
Okay, that might work. Can we just make it? See how they're walking down
Tigers
the
are
street?
animals?
And then they add people. See how they add people? I just want to do that, like as we're walking around the clinic, like
That would
we
be
just add
sweet.
people, like and you just keep going.
Yes.
Wouldn't that be cool? Look at them walking. I think it's hilarious. It's just so
I think we should
classic.
grab animals along the way, too.
Oh, we could grab animals.
Yes.
Yeah. So anyway, okay.
Wow.
What would your song be?
What would my song be?
Yeah.
Let the bodies hit the floor.
Let the bodies hit the floor.
Glamorous by Fergie. G-L. I'm not going to go through all the letters, though. I like that song.
It's a good song.
What about you? Any, like, 90s R&B, I feel
Yeah.
like.
That's all I listen to.
Backstreet Boys.
Yeah.
Get some
Oh,
Nelly.
yeah.
Ba, ba.
Yeah, baby. Bum, bum, bum.
Yeah, are those the puppets?
That's
Who are the puppet-
NSYNC.
Oh, my bad. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that is NSYNC that sings Bye Bye. Right?
Oh, they are.
I think so.
Who knows?
But yeah, let's just go with the Backstreet Boys song. Any
Okay.
of them.
That works.
Any of
Yep.
them?
Any.
What is your song for yourself?
Eye of the Tiger.
But what is the... You have to choose one for yourself now. All you can probably think about is Eye of the
Confident
Tiger.
by what's her name?
What is her name?
Demi. It's a bit of a
Demi Lovato.
Yeah, that's it.
There you go. Got it. Demi New.
That's what I sing when I walk the hallways.
Hey.
Oh, except this is supposed to be an entrance song. So that would apply to maybe. I'm just thinking, possibly.
Yeah.
Okay. What's
Okay.
one thing you're unbeatable at?
Hmm.
Anybody?
I know all the Wiggles songs.
Like Wiggle Wiggle?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Or the
Fruit
Wiggles?
salad.
Oh.
Yummy. Fruit salad. Yummy. Yeah, I know those too because Trevor, my son,
Yep.
watched all of them. We actually went to the concert, the Wiggles concert.
Did you? Was it good?
Yeah, actually, it was really cute.
I've been thinking about going because I do know
Did
the
we drag you,
dances.
Harrison?
No, she was just like, did you? Really? That's so
Did we drag you to the Wiggles concert? We did.
Was it?
We dragged him and Trevor because we took Trevor, right, Harry? And so I thought I made Harrison go. Yeah,
Yeah,
That's
that would
pretty
be
fun.
a blast. That's what I want to do.
it was good. But one of the guys was missing because he had decided he was done.
Oh, was it like the older
He
one, the
wiggled
purple?
out.
No, the purple one's been there for.
The purple, the yellow, the red.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, there was a bunch of good
You
Wiggles
got 2
songs.
laughs
Yes.
on that.
So
So, yep.
I thought it was funny.
Who's next? Abby.
Oh, what am I unbeatable at? I was
Yes.
going to say Guitar Hero.
Ooh.
Only on hard.
on the hard level.
Yeah.
Is that when you add the yellow or the blue?
Let me tap into my memory here. Yes. I don't
Oh
know.
my gosh. We got to get Guitar
Why is
Hero.
he laughing so hard?
We have to get Guitar Hero and play it in here. That would be hilarious.
I
That'd
think
be
Harrison
fun.
is regretting his decision to ask
Abby to co-host.
Yeah. I think all of us to be here right now.
But I don't know why he's laughing.
Who knows? He's
Okay. Moving on. What are you unbeatable at, Denise? It's not
Burping?
Guitar Hero.
burping. Is that what she said? Oh, she's the
and your
master of burping.
squeaks.
Oh, yes.
Well, those
It's
are
not
involuntary.
intentional, but yes,
She is very good at burping.
I am.
Yeah.
Do
I
it
would
right
say
now.
mine would be what we're gonna make her do it right
no,
now.
I can't do that.
Oh, okay.
Free throw contest.
Wow.
Nobody can beat me.
Okay. Well, we're gonna have Guitar Hero.
Yep.
We're gonna
Wiggles
We're gonna get the
competition.
Wiggles out, and then we're gonna play horse.
Yep.
Is that what that's called?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, but it still applies.
What's it called?
I'm just
When
talking
you
about
do
hitting
the
free throws.
free throw.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, horse is where you're playing, and you can play in different parts all around. You're shooting shots and
Shooting shots all the time.
Doing like the
man.
granny shot.
yeah, and somebody has to make the shot you make, otherwise you get the letter.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
That's all of our icebreaker questions.
there you go.
That was easy.
Yeah, those were good ones.
Still don't know why we're laughing about Guitar Hero, but
Does anybody have a case they want to share? I do.
okay.
Let's hear it.
So thanks to Denise, reminded me of a very cool case that we had involving a young, like retriever kind of mix.
Mhm.
I would say he's kind of like a retriever lab mix, something.
Little
He's a
red.
mix. He's a Heinz 57. So yeah.
I like that.
And he presented when he was probably 12 weeks old, somewhere in that range. He had what we call cranial mandibular osteopathy.
What is that?
I just had this like in the background going, and so the layman's term we were talking about before the show is lion's jaw, because they look crazy and they look like the lion because they just like they lay down all this bone on their mandible and maxilla, or they can on their mandible and maxilla, and so it makes their jaw swell and their face swell. And so they're very painful and they can't eat, and it's a juvenile orthopedic bone disease, and they typically can outgrow it if you can get them down the line. Down the line.
It's always
and-
a song.
And he now is completely normal, but he was miserable. I mean, they
Wow,
were very
yeah, he
dedicated.
was.
We had to use a stomach tube because he couldn't eat. And so we had to have him on a stomach tube feedings. And then once they get through their growth phase, they typically do really well. We ended up having to use prednisone. And because normal non-steroidal anti-inflammatories wouldn't control the pain or the inflammation or the disease process. So as soon as we'd pull away the meds, I mean, his face just swelled up. He'd go through these growth phases over
Yeah.
several months, and then he'd swell up, and then, yeah. Anyway, Harrison will post a picture of him, what he looked like when he was a puppy.
Yeah, he's so sad.
Yeah, he was,
Yeah,
because he was
just
so
so
skinny
sad.
and he had this
Mhm.
like just huge
Yeah.
jaw and head, and
But he was so sweet. Through
oh, he was such a good sport
everything.
about it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And he's almost a year now.
Yeah.
That was right after I started, I think. And
Yeah. Now you wouldn't even know.
I didn't recognize him. He
Wouldn't even
came
know what
in
happened.
A couple weeks ago, and I didn't recognize
Hmm.
him.
Yeah. And I mean, it would have been very easy to euthanize him because one, he was so miserable, and two, he couldn't eat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, but Maya and her family, they were committed to staying the course.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They were.
They
great.
believed in the
I
process,
told them
and
all
then
the time.
it's, yeah, I mean, he's completely normal.
That's
And
amazing.
there's no like long-term side effect associated with having that condition. So it doesn't mean anything for him long-term. It's just one of those weird juvenile orthopedic
How
bone
old is he
diseases.
now?
He's a year.
He's
I
almost
think.
Oh,
yeah.
he's a year?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah, because I think he was here for his,
That's when I saw him. His annual.
Annual.
His first annual, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. But yeah, he was a great
Yeah.
dog to work with.
Mhm.
So that was a very, very interesting case because that's like, you don't see those very often at
Yeah.
all. So
Interesting.
what about you guys? Do you have anybody have any cool cases that you've seen recently? Nothing
Cool
weird or
cases.
unusual?
Shout out to Ruby today. This morning, she smiled. She was a dog that smiled. So whenever you said her name really high pitched, she like snarl up. That was cool and interesting.
That's always really funny because it makes you think they're growling. If
Yeah.
you don't know the dog,
Yeah.
I mean,
was
it
like,
really
is that
makes.
smile?
Are they showing?
Yeah,
their
it's like
teeth?
anytime if I don't know the dog and they do that, it's like you go
Yeah.
like that, like
Yeah.
initially, and it's like, oh, okay, no, wait, never mind. They're not really
They're just smiling.
gonna attack me. They're just
happy.
they're just happy. Yeah,
So that was cool
Yeah.
and interesting.
yeah, not very many dogs. That's not like every dog you see does that
Mhm.
kind of thing. It's definitely more of the rarity
Yeah. I love it.
when dogs will smile like that.
Yeah. But it's so cute.
It is. Yeah.
It is.
Anybody have
What?
anything else? No.
Copper's the only one I can
I
think
know.
of.
That's all I can think of now. He was just so sad every time I saw him, and now I can't stop thinking about him.
Mhm. But he's a happy boy.
He is happy boy.
Okay, well, let's proceed to the client question. If you guys are good with that.
Yes.
All right. So, client questions. Here we go. So excited to hear you're starting a podcast. Here's my question. I have 2 indoor cats, a male, Leo, who's 5.5 years old, neutered, and a female, Luna, 6 months old, recently spayed. When the 2 are playing and chasing each other, sometimes Leo will bite and hold onto Luna's neck from behind. Is this a sign of sexual behavior I should be concerned about, especially given the fact that they're both altered? Or is this just dominance behavior? Either way, is there a good way to curb this behavior? And this question is from Kelsey Baird. First of all, let's not pretend
Doctor.
like we can understand cats, right? There's no understanding cats. Okay, Dr. Faust would disagree
Yeah, I was
because she
gonna
would
say.
have like, and there's a whole book about behavior, and she would definitely have information, detailed information about cat behavior. But cats are so intricate and complicated
Very complicated.
Yeah.
individuals. So, Kelsey, we are going to do our best to answer this question without
Yes.
the
Kelsey.
presence of Dr. Faust. So, guys, what do you think are reasons this cat may be doing this to the other cat?
I mean, it could be a dominance thing. But
Sure.
cats play that way. That's kind of the way they learn, like how to hunt when they're kittens. That's one of their, one of the kill spots, I guess. And it's just kind of a instinctual throwback thing.
It's throwback behavior.
Throwback, yeah.
PTSD
You know what I
behavior.
Rollback. Okay.
Or PDA behavior.
I know what I meant.
Oh gosh. So, cats. So, anybody else want cat?
Doctor? Because I have no idea. Amanda?
Anybody else have any other ideas or see unusual behaviors in like this type of play behavior in cats? Do you hear your clients talking about? I mean, a lot of times. I mean, have you guys seen patients come in with or histories of?
Like odd cat behaviors?
Yeah.
Yeah, all the time. I think each cat
Mhm.
is like uniquely different. No, I've never had this question. But
Yeah,
Just how
so-
they play too, how they learn kind of manners.
Right. So I mean, like a lot of their behaviors are learned when they're really young with kitten to kittens, so how the kittens are behaving with one another is how then they take those cues and they learn other behaviors. So, and then when they're playing, they're learning different things about like what you were talking about, Denise, about hunting or predatory, types of behavior, but then they're also learning cues from the other kitten. Some behaviors that you would see with kittens would be deemed appropriate. Like the kittens would think that they would be appropriate when they're kittens, but then as adult cats, those behaviors wouldn't be seen as appropriate then by another cat. Because I think what ends up happening is a lot of the play behaviors get, what's the right word? They kind of just go to the wayside. They go away over time. So like, the 2 kittens that we have, they're like great examples of
Yes.
a lot of the kitten behaviors that you can read about and learn about. But as they get older, they're going to stop demonstrating those behaviors. And so then they no longer do those things. So she has a male cat, right? A 5.5-year-old male cat.
And then 6 months old.
And I don't know when this cat was neutered. So
Recently.
if he was, say, an adopted cat, say he was a male cat and he was neutered later in life. So like maybe he was a stray. They found him as somewhat over 6 months of age or 7 months, 8 months of age. He would be considered an adult male an intact male, he had certain learned behaviors, one of which is that neck biting. And that neck biting is a sexual behavior with an unneutered female cat. That's how they would grab a female cat, but they're not grabbing them and hurting them. But that does get them in the correct position to be able to. It's like, great, we're going into reproductive talk.
Such a boy.
Into the correct position to be able to procreate. Okay, so, but that's a learned behavior. When you're neutered, that doesn't go away. So that is learned. They call it some kind of, you learn in their brain. I can't think of it.
Cognitive?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's just a learned behavior, learned male behavior, basically. Yeah. So they keep that behavior. They don't forget about it. And so now when he's playing with this other female cat, that's just a behavior that he used before. So, it's just like, all right. I don't think that necessarily he still has that. Obviously, he's neutered. He doesn't have that sexual drive.
Yeah.
And she's not in heat. So there's none of that going on. But it's probably now more a display of dominance, potentially.
Yeah.
It could be related to territories, too. So, like, depending on if the female cat's coming into what he deems his territory, then that may be how they initiate play. Maybe that's just initially how adult cats will initiate play. I would say if they're not hurting each other, then if it doesn't really matter. Right. So then, or is the female cat feeling like she's being stalked? Because then they also can demonstrate play aggression, which I would think that the male cat would have already done if he was going to show play aggression. Because I'm assuming the female cat came in the house after the male cat because of their ages.
Yeah.
Would you guys think that too?
Yeah.
So then play aggression would have already shown up in the male cat.
Yeah.
So I don't think that, unless maybe he's had it and he just took it out on the humans.
Ooh, that could be.
I mean, so that's possible that he could be initiating play aggression.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. In which case, then the female cat's a good thing because then they're not doing it to the humans.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's a lot of different answers for this one.
It really is. Really depends. So I don't know.
Anything you can do to
Stop it?
necessarily, though.
You could potentially, like, if you could figure out the times where the behavior gets triggered, maybe if that cat is coming into the other cat's territory and that's when the play is initiated, maybe there's a way to do some other type of predatory play with the male cat. So he's chasing that. So he's chasing either a mouse, I don't know, something he can capture. So like paper ball, they like, you can flick those, anything that he can run and capture, like a light, maybe even.
Or a string toy.
You may be able to curb the behavior that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, it may be difficult to. I'm trying to think if there's any other solutions.
Maybe like
A food?
Well, but you don't want to reward them either. Thinking,
Yeah.
Hey, if I bite her, I get to eat.
I get this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Or if it's every time they're approaching each other, then I think food training, you could do food training so that they could be around each other, but not engage in that behavior,
Yeah.
and have a positive experience
Right.
without engaging in that behavior, possibly. There may be also additional information on the Indoor Pet Initiative website, which is really helpful for cat behavior stuff. And I think we always try and encourage owners to check that website out because they go through a lot of machinations with setups of houses and cats and introducing cats together and then making sure that you have these scenarios in place when you do introduce two cats together. So the Indoor Pet Initiative is a great website or a great resource because we don't know how people's houses are set up. So I think that makes it difficult also sometimes for us to be able to offer immediate solutions.
Right.
But if you can read through that, say, oh yeah, this is, I could see where this could be a trigger. There's a hiding spot, the food's here, this,
Yeah.
So I think checking out the Ohio State, the Indoor Pet Initiative might also be able to potentially solve some of the maybe environmental cues, maybe, possibly.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's my thoughts.
It's a good question. It's a lot of thoughts.
A lot of thoughts. Cat behavior, I'm telling you.
It's weird.
The cat also may just need a couch to sit on and talk about its problems. to a poor soul who will listen.
Oh, poor kitties.
Yes, I know. Well, it's interesting because I think Faust would say cats generally are solitary animals. I mean, they will live within an environment together, but they also are perfectly fine being
Separate away from each other.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I always laugh when an owner or someone will come in and say, "Oh, I feel like they need a buddy," and I'm like,
No, he's fine.
"I don't think so. I think really they're perfectly fine by themselves." Like, I'm gonna go with he's gonna vote with no.
Yeah.
So anyway, but no, that was a terrific question.
Yeah.
Like I was mentioning, cat behavior can be really complicated, but certainly, Kelsey, feel free to reach out to Dr. Faust, or I might be able to help more, maybe, possibly, but not certainly as well as probably Dr. Faust. But we can get you more answers if
You could
any
be
of
the
that is not
therapist.
helpful. Say what?
You could be the therapist
I
while they're on
could.
the couch.
Mhm.
I could. I'm a good listener.
There you go. There you go.
Do you guys have anything else to add?
I don't think so.
No?
No. I'm just listening.
You guys have been good helpers today.
Thanks.
Yes, I appreciate it. Okay, well, I think that wraps it up, Abby. Don't you think?
Dr. King, I think it does. Yes.
So we will close it out there because I hear everyone's stomachs growling.
Yes.
Oh, mine was kind of loud.
Yeah. So everybody, thank you so much for tuning into another episode of the Veterinary Roundtable. Remember, send in those questions and be sure to follow us on social media platforms at All Star Veterinary Clinic. If you enjoyed this episode or a previous episode, leave us a review on your podcast provider of choice. We'll see you in a few weeks for the next episode of the Veterinary Roundtable. I'd like to thank Abby and Amanda and Denise for joining me today. While Duckwall's been out, you were
Miss you, Duckwall.
good.
Yay,
way to
big
be.
shoes to fill. I didn't do much.
big
but
shoes to
thanks for
fill.
having
Appreciate
me.
it. And everybody, we'll see you on the next episode. Have a great night.